Okay, they say everything's bigger in Texas, but is it better? I'm not here to debate that, but I'm here to give you the pros and cons of living in Texas versus living in Michigan, and it's coming up right now. For things to do and sights to see, this is Live Great TV, and I am your official host to Living Great in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. My name is Vaughn Greathouse. Hey, and if you want to know more about the Grand Rapids area, what it's like to live, work, and have fun in Michigan, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, at least hit the like button so you won't miss out on all the new videos that I put out each and every week, because I love making these videos for you. But even more than that, I'm a licensed real estate agent in the state of Michigan, so I can help you make that transition nice and smooth. I've helped tons of families just like you get over to the area nice and smooth. But for that, I want to get into the video where I'm talking about Texas versus Michigan. Stay tuned. Okay, so living in Texas has a lot of draw. Now, being in Michigan, we watch the news over here. We see a lot of people who are looking to move to Texas. People from California, people from Utah, people from all over the United States want to go to Texas because some of the following reasons, such as the cost of living, the economy, there's no state income tax. These are all a few things as far as Texas, as you may know, why people really want to be there. And honestly, I have a buddy of mine who's a pilot, and he flies over Texas all the time, and there's a lot of land. He says there's a lot of land in Texas, a lot of people building brand new out there, and it's usually pretty inexpensive. I see some reels and stuff on Instagram all the time, and I see a lot of draw as to why it makes sense to move to Texas. However, the people in Texas I talk to from the channel quite a bit, they want to move up north. They want to be out of the heat. They want to be in a place where they have more diversity as far as the seasons go, and it's a real big draw as to why people want to move to Michigan. Let's get into some of the things as why people are moving to Texas, and we'll compare them to Grand Rapids and Michigan in general, so you have a good idea from someone who lives here and tell you exactly what to expect. Number one is going to be the economy. Now, in Texas, they have a booming economy where they have companies like Tesla and all these tech companies that are starting out in the area wanting to get into the state because they don't have to pay any income tax. A lot of people came from California, or you watch Joe Rogan, you watch all these big name people who are going to Texas so that they actually have a better place to grow economically, and that's going to be one of the really big draws as to why people want to go to Texas. Another industry is going to be healthcare and also energy. A lot of solar companies are based out in Texas. These are all really big draws as to why people are going to there. A lot of startup companies, people who really want to get headway with these newer companies who are emerging into different markets so that they can boom, they can make money, and they can actually grow with these companies. And that's a huge draw for people who are going to Texas. So just like I was saying about their income taxes, the property taxes out in Texas are usually pretty good, and the cost of living overall is really low. So people who are considering moving to Texas just see the commute, you know, the taxes, the food, the things that are also really big contributors to a healthy lifestyle, because a lot of things are getting expensive in the United States. You know, we're seeing inflation go up. So having that draw as a cost of living being a really big reason why people want to move to Texas. Now, climate is another reason. People that move to Texas, or people want to move out to Texas, is because they're sick of the cold. They're sick of weather that's all over the place. And that's the difference in Michigan. In Michigan, we see lots of different weather patterns. I was even with some friends on a patio a few weeks ago, and we were talking about how we literally see all four seasons in one day. We see snow, we see rain, we see cold, we see heat. And it's literally one of those things where, you know, you get that in the state of Michigan. You never really know what to expect. Some people love it, some people hate it, and that can be a deterrent for people who really just want consistent weather. They want to be able to plan their days, know that the sun's going to be shining, or at least it's warm out. And that's a really big reason why people are moving from Texas, because it's just way too hot. They don't want to deal with it anymore, especially if they've been there their whole life, or they just want a different climate, a different reason to go outside and enjoy the weather. That's a really big deal for Texas. All right, education is going to be another really big draw. We have places like University of Texas and Texas A&M. These are top colleges that a lot of people want to go to either be teachers, professors, athletes in their academic program. I even had a buddy, Scott, who I used to work with, and he moved down to Texas because he got a really good position as a football coach. It paid better, it was better climate. He came from Michigan, so it was an easy relay for him to move on over to Texas and enjoy the weather. It's more consistent out there. So that is a real reason why people move. The education systems are known. They're known throughout the nation to be really great for people who are considering different schools in different areas. I got a chance to visit San Antonio, and I got a chance to visit Dallas. I really had a great time out in Dallas. Very family friendly. It's expanding. It's a really great draw as to why people are moving to Texas. But on the other side of it, we also have great education systems here in Michigan, which you can't lose out on. All right, now another reason is going to be rich cultural diversity. A lot of people who are considering moving to Texas, they know that there's a lot of Hispanic, a lot of white, a lot of black, a lot of Asian, a lot of everything that's out there under the sun out in Texas. So they have a lot more diversity out in Texas because you have a lower climate. You got people coming from California, you got people coming from Florida, you got people coming from up north and all over the place, because Texas is a huge state. It's a big draw and it gets a lot of attention. And not to forget to mention Six Flags Great America is out there, and that's actually one of the places when I was growing up, one of those amusement parks is just a highlight of going there. You got places on the East Coast such as Busch Gardens and things like that. So it's a real draw, like different things to do out there in Texas. They have a lot of rivers, a lot of outdoor life as far as living out in Texas that a lot of people don't want to give up on. And that's the next thing that I want to go into. All right, now in Texas, they have the Gulf Coast beaches. They have a lot of kayaking, biking, canoeing, a lot of outdoorsy type of things that you're able to do pretty much everywhere throughout the state of Texas. Now, when I went to visit Austin, Austin was a great place because people always talk about 6th Street. They talk about having a really good time as far as their nightlife. These are really big draws to people who are going to move to Texas. You can go hiking, you can go through different rocks and streams, you can actually find different trails and things like that that people always go to. Since it's so hot, people have to find different and creative ways to cool off. So it's a really great thing when you go to little watering holes, or you go to different beaches, or you do kayaking just to stay cool. And it's an awesome opportunity if you love to be outdoors. All right, now last but not least, in Texas, you have different cities. You have places like Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio. These are all really big name, highly populated areas. You can find your people that you're considering to move around with, enjoy life and do different things that are cohesive with your lifestyle. And that's a really big draw for people who are considering moving to Texas, that you have different environments and you can literally pick and choose what you want. All right, now we're gonna switch gears and move it up to Michigan, where the land of the 4 seasons are. A lot of people really look forward to moving to Michigan because it's naturally beautiful. There's a lot of greenery out here. There's hills. We don't really have mountains here. We don't really have snakes or a lot of things like that. Maybe in Texas they have different rodents, and I know I saw a bunch of armadillo when I was out there. We do have different rodents up here in Michigan. We don't have a ton of snakes. We do have insects because it's kind of, we have wetlands and whatnot out here. And that's something to look out for, but not really a big deal. We don't have a lot of tornadoes or any natural disaster type of things that happen. Once a year, maybe we'll get a bad rainstorm, and that's pretty much it. I had some people move out from Utah. I had a family move from the east side of Michigan. Recently, I had another couple move from Tennessee, and that was some of the things that they really enjoyed, is the fact that the weather here is not too crazy. It's warm in the summer, it's cold in the winter, the fall's pretty medium, hit or miss, and there's not a lot to be scared of here. Now, if you're going up further north in Michigan, you can actually see like black bear. And when you run into these black bear, which I had before, they're more afraid of humans than you are of them. I know there was a recent video that went viral of a guy taking a nap and a bear ran up to his toe while he was sleeping. And once the guy woke up, the bear just scrammed and took off. So The bears that are here up north are actually scared of a lot of humans, and they run the opposite way, just because they don't really know. They're kind of like squirrels or rodents or something, something like that, where they're not used to it, so they just leave. And it's a really it's satisfying to know that that's the case typically. I mean, don't go around messing with their cubs or do anything crazy like that, but it's also something to really just look out for. It's not really a big deal here, but it does happen when you're more up north. Okay, the next thing is going to be the cost of living. I just recently did a video of the cost of living in the Grand Rapids area and in Michigan in general, so you know exactly what to expect. The cost of living here is generally low. I believe we're right around 20% lower than the national average, and it's a better place overall because you can affordably get into a home. You can actually live in the area where you want to be in, depending on if it's out in the sticks or if you want to be in the city and not break the bank. We don't have any taxes on food as far as like from the grocery store. If you go through a drive-through, which is like a service industry, they're going to tax you for the service. But at the same time, there's no tax on food. We can return cans for 10 cents a pop. So I see a lot of people returning cans and put money right back into their groceries. So it's a really big advantage for you. We also have a great education system in the state of Michigan. We have places like Michigan State, U of M, Oakland University, Davenport University. We have GRCC. We have East Lansing Community College. We have Lake Michigan Community College. We have a ton of different places as far as education goes. Western Michigan University is a huge one. Central Michigan University. These are all just places to name a few, and shout out to Grand Valley because they're right. Grand Valley State University is right here in the heart of Grand Rapids. So these are great education systems that a lot of the youth grow into. They grow up to staying local, supporting the Michigan education system to make sure that they get those quality educations. University of Michigan is a Big Ten school. We have a couple of Big Ten schools here, so if you're an athlete or if you're a sports fan, you just will not get enough sports here. You'll get more than enough as you're moving out here, so that's a huge highlight in contrast to Texas as well. Something to look forward to that you're not going to lose is going to be the education system in Michigan. Not to forget to mention, I've also done a video and I'm doing a series on a lot of these different school districts to get you more informed with what school district's going to be a best fit for you. I get a lot of questions in regards to parents talking about their children. They want to move their kids to the right school, so they reach out to me and I tell it to them straight because I have so much experience with the different school systems out here, and I've talked to a lot of the principals. So reach out if you have any questions in regards to that. Another great draw about the Michigan area is going to be the sense of community that's here. I've talked about it in all of my other videos. A lot of people who are coming to Michigan look forward to that family friendly or just that friendly overall atmosphere. Local businesses being supported, local ventures being supported, different people who are more leaders in the community reaching down to help people that aren't as privileged, to help them get to where they want to go. We're very tight-knit, very close. You might have a nosy neighbor, just tell them to back off if they're getting too nosy, but at the same time, we mean well. We really just want to get to know each other and build that community a lot stronger. Okay, now in Michigan, we have a lot of economic opportunities out here in regards to healthcare, in regards to education, and in regards to automotive. These are all really big industries in the state of Michigan that a lot of people come here for. We have places like Gentex, we have places like Corewell Health, we have different places that are really big employers in the area. This used to be called Furniture City out in Grand Rapids because we have Hayworth, Steelcase, and other big companies like Herman Miller, Howard Miller, who are doing really big business in the furniture industry. So if you're into that, this is definitely a place to move up the ladder and actually get a lot of experience when it comes to those industries. Whether you're looking at beer, whether you're looking at furniture, these are some of the industries that are really big here that you can find a great opportunity in as far as growing your lifespan, growing your lifestyle, and the fact that we have a low cost of living really puts you you at an advantage where you keep those expenses low and you keep that income high. That's exactly where you want to be. So that's a really great draw for people who are coming to the Michigan area. All right, now the last thing I want to talk about again is the cultural scene in the West Michigan area. Now, if you look up the statistics and you look up exactly what to expect in the state of Michigan, you will see that the state of Michigan is very big in diversity in regards to art and culture. We have all throughout the state, we have different places where are known for different people as far as the things they like to do for a living. Now, it comes to art and artwork. One of my clients right now is getting ready to put a really big piece into what's called Art Prize, which is a 3-week event that happens at the end of every September, October timeframe, and a lot of people showcase their art. So if you have an art or a skill that you want to show off, you can put it into the event. You just go ahead to Art Prize or Google Art Prize and find out more information how you can put your art pieces in. It's a great draw because you see different art throughout the city, throughout the state, people getting acknowledged and people really getting recognized for their abilities to create art, their abilities to do things that are artistic, and we really love to showcase that as a pride, a sense of pride of the people who are in the state of Michigan. Now, when it comes to music and history, Michigan has a lot of that. When it comes to music, we have Motown City in Detroit. We have a lot of the automotive industry, GM, Ford. These are really big companies out here in the state of Michigan. As you're coming out, knowing that it has its place for you. So if you're a musician, you can literally find any pub or any bar on any given weekend year round to go ahead and play and just draw a crowd in, because people really love to support local artists, people who are really doing something, people who are up to something. And this is an advantage for people who are wanting to start out. Some people really wanting to expand their music or expand their art and get recognized. It's not a LA, it's not a New York, it's not a Vegas or a Miami or anything like that. But you do have really great opportunities when it comes to learning more about the art scene. I know Austin has a huge Music City, USA, Memphis, places like that. You can actually get a good start. In Michigan, you can actually build a fan base. I knew some friends that were growing up who are still in the band and they're still traveling. They're doing really well. They're getting booked for shows all the time. So if you're a musician, this is a great place for you to get that artistic itch out if that's what you do. So just know that that's something to look forward to. Alrighty, now that I've talked about both states, I want to compare them back to back so you can use this information in order to make your best decision if you're coming from Texas to the state of Michigan. Now, with Texas, we're talking about weather and climate. Texas is going to be year-round heat most of the time. In Michigan, it's going to be 4 seasons. It's going to be a mixed bag. You might get summer, you might get winter in June, who knows? But at the same time, you're getting those 4 seasons. You're getting a little diversity, something different than what you're used to, which is just a boring heat all the time. All right, now with Texas, in regards to expenses and cost of living, you have no state income tax and you have a lower cost of living. However, in the state of Michigan, it is also very, very affordable and you don't have to worry too much about the expenses, and you can offset those expenses by things like returning those cans and also having no expenses on your grocery store food. When it comes to the economy, Texas has a booming overall economy in a lot of different genres, whereas Michigan is going to be more distinct in regards to healthcare, automotive, and also education. These are different areas that you're able to get your foot in the door, so that way you're thriving as you're living there. All right, when it comes to Texas in regards to lifestyle, you're looking for stuff that's rural, more urban, and a little more fast paced. Now in the state of Michigan, you're looking for the things that are a little bit slower, more family oriented, and you're easily able to move in and hit the ground running as you're moving into Michigan. It's a lot more relaxed, and you have a lot more lake life and boat life out here in the state of Michigan. Now, when it comes to outdoor activities in the state of Texas versus Michigan, they're very similar. They're both known for hunting, fishing, biking, kayaking, so you're not going to lose out on that. The difference is you're going to get a lot more inland freshwater lakes, but at the same time, you still have those water holes and different ponds and things like that in the state of Texas. over here, it's very, very comparable. When it comes to community and culture, both Texas and Michigan are very well suited. In the state of Texas, you're going to get more diversity, you're going to get a larger job market, and you're going to get more opportunities, where in the state of Michigan, you have more of a traditional Midwest feel. You're still able to get into the tech industry, the healthcare and the automotive industry, furniture, beer. It's just a simpler lifestyle out in the state of Michigan. All right, so here are some decision factors as you're making your way out. I wrote a few of them down, so I'm going to read through the list of something that you can consider as you're making your decision to move from Texas all the way out to the state of Michigan. First and foremost are going to be your personal priorities. So just consider the preferences for climate, job opportunities, and your overall lifestyle. The next are going to be your economic considerations. So evaluate things like cost of living, tax implications, and job markets from both states. Now, when it comes to family considerations, assess the school systems, safety, family-oriented activities in both locations. I've even put a list together so you can use more information on what it's like to live in each state. So click the link below and you'll be able to see a lot more information about that. Now, when it comes to your lifestyle, just decide whether you prefer warm and sunny or if you like natural beauty and the 4 seasons. Future growth. Both Texas and Michigan are experiencing a growth boom right now. Texas has more of a rapid economy expansion, while Michigan is steadily growing, especially in urban areas like Grand Rapids, Detroit, Holland, different areas like that. And that's it. Those are the things that I really wanted to give you in regards to moving from Texas all the way to the state of Michigan that are really going to benefit you. If you have any specific questions in regards to you and your family, get a hold of me. I've helped tons of people move from Texas, move from Florida, move from all over the United States, and I'm happy to help. I'm happy to give you the information you need. No, it's not weird if you reach out to the guy from YouTube. So just get in touch with me. Let me know what you think, and I'll be able to help you, break down some of the pros and cons. Some of these things that I talked about might eliminate you from coming to Michigan, but at least you did the due diligence and you'll know first and foremost that it might have been for you, it might not have been for you, and I'm happy to help either way it goes. Again, for things to do and sights to see, this is Live Great TV, and I'm your official host of Living Great in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. My name's Vaughn Greyhouse, and until next time, we will see you on the next video.